My fair beauties, let old Joe see your treasures.
Oh, you ain't so old, Joe.
Oh, I'm sure there's no such old bones here as mine. We're all suitable to our calling. We are well matched. Gather round, my lovelies.
I could stand there staring as if you were afraid, woman. We're not going to pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose.
No, indeed. We should hope not.
Oh, open my bundle, Joe. I want to know the value of my goods. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
He wanted to keep them after he was dead? The wicked old screw. Why wasn't he nicer in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had someone to look after him when he was struck with death. Instead of lying there, gasping out his last breath, alone by himself.
It's the truest word that was ever spoken. It's a judgment on him.
It's time, Joe. I want to know the value of my treasure. Speak out, Flame.
A tattered old piece of clothing. A pair of sleeve buttons. No. Ooh, a brooch of, no particular value.
What?
Oh, 2 old-fashioned silver teaspoons, a pair of sugar tongs, and a boot. Well, let's see here. Well, that settles your account. And I wouldn't give you another penny if I was to be boiled in oil. I always give too much to the ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and that's how I ruin myself. I say, that is your account. If you ask me for another penny, I'll repent of being too liberal and knock off half a crown. Who is next?
And now, undo my bundle, Joe.
With pleasure. Oh, what do you call these? Bed curtains?
Ah, bed curtains.
You don't mean to say you took them down, rings and all, with him lying there, I suppose?
Well, yes, I do. And why not?
Oh! Well, you were born to make your fortune, and you'll certainly do it. Are these his blankets?
Well, whose answers do you?
Ugh.
Well, he isn't likely to take cold without them, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die of anything catching.
Oh, don't you be afraid of that. I wasn't so fond of his company that I lured you about with such things as he did. Now, you may look through that shirt till your eyes open, but you won't find a hole. It's the best he had, and a fine one, too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Putting it on him to be buried in, to be sure. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off him and gave him an old one. It's quite becoming to the body.
Oh, yes. Well, that is your account. Poor soul, he was no comfort of all to anyone while he was alive, only to profit us in his death. What a good man he was!
Spirit, I can see how the case of this unhappy man might be my own.